I remember going to my corner and my coaches are like panic mode, but I didn't even let it affect me. Like I listened to them and I still trusted myself and I trusted,
Mhm.
and I will say that you and I working together, that was one of the biggest positives going
Mm.
that fight. And
Amazing. Hi, Caleb. Thank you so much for joining me for a little testimonial video. I'm so excited to chat with you a little bit about your mindset journey, specifically in regards to your fighting career. And recently, you won a really big fight. We worked on so many different things for your mindset, preparing for that. And I'm just so excited to talk to you a little bit about that journey and some of the things that really helped you and supported you. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
thank you for having me. Thank you. Yeah, this has been the biggest fight of my career so far. The things we talked about, I told you, I'm going up against the only guy that's ever beat me. I'm going on the biggest stage in Florida, and it's been like a year and a half since I've fought. So like you heard that, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I called you because I needed to be in the right mindset. So that's when I found you through Ali, and it's been great. It's been great. So I'm happy and excited to share it.
Awesome. Well, it's been such a joy meeting you and learning about like your background and all the hard work that you put in to this fight and your preparation. But before we dive into that, go ahead and just introduce yourself,
Yeah.
tell us your name, and tell us what you do.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Caleb Nelson. I'm based out of here from Tampa, Florida. First and foremost, I just want to put on the floor that I am a United States Marine Corps veteran. I am a business owner as well, and I am also one of the growing MMA fighters here in Florida.
Amazing, amazing, wonderful. How amazing for me
Mhm.
to support someone who's, thank you so much for your service.
I
I know that
appreciate
that
it.
has shaped you so much into the person that you are today, and that's something you should absolutely be so proud of. And incredible that you're also a business owner and also pursuing a career as an athlete. Like that's so many great contributions to who you are and makes you so well-rounded and also before we even dived into mindset work, like the things that we had talked about, you still had like a pretty solid mindset with certain things. We just
Mhm.
needed to tweak them because of your background, because of your upbringing, because of a lot of different things about your past. It's not like you had zero mindset skills. You just we didn't identify ways that you could tweak, amplify, and use them as an advantage to your
Mhm.
into your career. So that is something that I really loved. And I think most people don't know that they've probably been shaped before in some way to have a strong mindset. They just don't know how because we don't talk about it. So
Right.
tell me a little bit about what inspired you to reach out to me to say, okay, I have this big fight coming up. What inspired you to say, I need mindset support?
Yeah. I mean, so much actually. With the whole background story of the fight, with it being my only loss, I haven't been in a cage in a year, almost a year and a half. I fought this guy 2 years ago. It's on the biggest stage, and I do have a strong mindset. I will say that. I've developed that as a child, and I also really got to experience developing it in the Marine Corps because when bullets are flying, you got to be prepared mentally. You have to go to a place where you know that, like, hey, you got to trust your training. You got to be confident. You actually got to believe that you're going to make it home. Especially like you also have to have the strongest mindset when you are placed in charge of other people. And I don't say that as like a leadership position, but I mean like you are responsible for other people's lives.
Mhm.
They are looking up to you. Your mindset has to be forward, like it has to be strong. And I did that and I had developed that. But I also knew that as I was doing this on my own, I didn't have a professional.
Mhm.
And I was looking in on Google, I was trying to do research, not knowing where to start.
Mhm.
Uh, psychologists that specialize in MMA, and one of my friends who has had a complete turnaround in his career path as an MMA fighter, I witnessed it with my own eyes. His name is Ali, and he's one of my great friends.
Mm.
And there's just something about him that it stands out about him. He has the most positive mindset ever. It's strong, it's confident, you trust it. He's a natural leader. And I'm over here thinking, I'm like, man, I'm a Marine. I have been in charge of other people's lives. And I know what that takes. And, I'm looking at him as a mentor. And I'm like, what is it about him that has helped him focus and get intentional about changing his whole career in MMA? And I talked to him because I was like, all right, bro, let me know on the secret. And
Yeah.
he name dropped you. And I was like, I knew right then and there. I was like, I'm looking for a professional. The universe, God, it does provide, it does work out. If you are intentional and you're looking, the answer will come to you. And, I looked at it as I'm investing in myself. This is not just, oh, I'm going to get through this fight. At first, I thought it was a little bit of the fight, but now I see how beneficial it is to have this mindset work. And I saw it with my own eyes in somebody else and
Mm.
wanted that, and then met you. And then we started working, and you helped me overcome one of the biggest obstacles in my fight career. And now it's just been a domino effect. Better things are happening now.
Amazing.
More, and there's more good news coming too that I've gotten. So,
Oh,
uh,
amazing. Oh,
how I heard about you, and yeah.
amazing. Yeah, Ali is truly like a standout with his how he's just shown up for his pro career. And
Mhm.
it just makes me like just so honored that I've been able to support him. And also I will say that like just seeing you also so quickly adopt some
Mhm.
of the things that we talked about. Like we only had a couple calls.
Yeah, we didn't even,
Only
we had in 30 days, I
Yeah,
believe.
uh-huh. Yep. And we only had a couple calls. We had several touch points. And this is the thing that I think everyone can learn from athletes. Like you guys are so like, all right, tell me what to do. I'll do it. You stick with it. You don't doubt it. You implement it. You believe it in your core. Like that's how you are successful with your training. So why not apply that to your mindset as well? And that's exactly what you did. Like you committed to really just being very disciplined with your thoughts to make sure that they weren't getting in the way of how you're performing. And like I mentioned before on some of our calls, this stuff, yes, it helped you for your fight, and you even said it yourself, but these are tools you're going to have forever. These are tools you can apply not just to your fight career, but you can also apply to your business, to any other aspect of life, and you'll get better and better at these. Ollie's a great example. His mindset continues to grow. Yours will too. I mean, I've already seen it grow, honestly. Like it's just so apparent in such a
Yeah.
short time. But you'll continue to grow. You'll continue to get an even better mindset for even tougher fights, even more challenging fights mentally, a lot of different things. So this will come with you forever. So what are some of the main things that really, maybe like one or two top mindset strategies or things that we worked on that were real game changers for your fight?
Mhm. That's a really good question. Man, so one of the things, two things,
Hmm.
visualization work.
Mm.
I remember whenever I got free time, I was intentional about visualizing the fight, what happens when things go wrong, too. I remember we talked about that, and there was a moment in the fight where something had happened, and I came back to it. I was like, no, like that's reset.
Mhm.
And the visualization that I was able to do, the things we talked about, what I should envision in my head. And then on top of that, if you want to call them mantras, but I remember when we got together, I had, you had said it, and we kind of came together with, I am more prepared to win.
Mhm.
I said that so many times with such conviction, and you helped me actually believe it, because anyone can say things, like
Sure.
two guys go into a cage, they both want to win, right?
Mhm.
That old saying, he who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both usually right.
Mhm.
Mindset work, the visualization, the things that how I was talking to myself,
Mhm.
I didn't just believe that I was going to win. I
Mhm.
felt like everything that had happened was it happen for me to grow. And these mantras allowed me to speak my truth with such conviction that even like you could not question it. I remember warming up before the fight and Ali recorded me, and naturally I am more prepared to win than he is. And even my coach was like, okay, like you can't argue with it. And it wasn't confidence, it was conviction.
Totally.
And came from the mindset visualization and the things that I was telling myself.
Amazing. Yeah, that is a huge thing I think for a lot of athletes is the fear of loss is so overpowering that it gets in the way of you trusting in yourself, you trusting in your preparation. And so
Mhm.
once we kind of went there mentally with like, what if you do lose? What if something happens in the fight that's unfavorable? Like we went there mentally so that you could essentially prepare for it and bounce back from it. And
Right.
not have that fear looming anymore. And so once we went through the visualization of, okay, let's say first round doesn't go as planned, which it kind of like, I know you said the first round was a little shaky for you. We literally talked about that. We're like, okay, if it starts off
Exactly.
not on the best foot, what are we going to do? What are we going to shift into? And we practiced that and we went through that. And mentally, we released the pressure off of what if I'm not good enough? What if he's better than me? What if this happens? What if I lose? Like we essentially went there mentally, took the pressure off of it, realized that it wouldn't have been the end of the world, that you could always bounce back if you believe that you could. And that's exactly what happened. And the way that you performed the second and the third rounds, like it was your energy shift was like huge.
Mhm.
I'm actually just this is like for a note for everyone. I'm actually gonna link your fight if people want to watch it, like in this
Yeah.
testimonial. So if you want to see that, to really like see your shift in energy because it's so apparent. But that's
Mhm.
something that we really talked about.
Mhm.
And like you essentially the other thing you mentioned was this idea of I'm more prepared than ever. I think a lot of athletes get in that place of, well, what if I'm not, what if he's better than me? And what we talked about for you is like, what if it doesn't matter who's better? Like we see in sports, all in all different sports, like we see better teams losing all the time. So it doesn't really matter who's better or who's not. What matters is who's showing up most powerfully, who's showing up most resilient, who's showing up most focused. And once we honed in on that, you came out the better one, obviously, because we didn't have to like weigh these what ifs of who's better. You
Mhm.
really just got to trust the work you put in and show up to really do what you wanted to do, which was win. So amazing. You really took those principles immediately and adopted them. And that was amazing.
I concur. Like that, the last thing right before I stepped in that cage, I was because you make that walk right up the stairs, and then boom, you're in the arena with the other guy looking at you.
Mhm.
I just remember I dropped down, I put my head down, I said my prayer, and the last thing I said was, I am more prepared to win. And when I just went up those stairs, I just knew. I knew that no matter what had happened, that maybe if he was better, and I will say he was better. He is a better fighter than last time I fought him. He
Oh,
had fought more fights than me.
okay.
That was surprised. But
Hmm.
like even in that first round, I did take a little hit to the back of the head and I wobbled. And I there was a couple moments where I was like, my mind went there. The demon that we talked about. My mind went there, but there was just something about the conviction of my mindset from the work that we had did.
Hmm.
And we had talked about a few things, what would be the key to my success, and I remembered that.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because I remember going to my corner and my coaches are like panic mode, but I didn't even let it affect me. Like I listened to them and I still trusted myself and I trusted,
Mhm.
and I will say that you and I working together, that was one of the biggest positives
Mhm.
going that fight. And
Amazing.
it was amazing.
Oh man, that's so awesome. I'm so proud of you for I didn't know your coaches were kind of like oh shit and that moment happened, but you were able to stand firm in where you wanted to be mentally. And I will say that's another huge thing for a lot of athletes is the person who's able to persevere and like turn things around when it doesn't look like it's going well is the person that has the consistent mindset. And a lot of athletes, if they make a mistake or something bad happens, their thoughts spiral. And when their thoughts spiral, they feel different. Their confidence goes down, their energy goes down. When their confidence and their energy goes down, they're not hitting punches as accurately. They're being more reactive than proactive. Their actions are going to be affected by the spiraling of their mind. What you did really good is that you stayed firm in what you believed, you stayed firm in what thoughts you were allowing,
Mhm.
and you really were very focused on I'm going to maintain my thoughts at this level because this is where I'm going to be most successful. And you didn't let like the demons still came up, those thoughts still came up, but you chose not to listen. You chose to focus on the things that would allow you to make a comeback and really
Right.
turn things around. So that was huge. And again, you were able to implement that and adopt that so quickly. I was so floored and so proud of you.
Thank you. I remember even in that last round as well. There was a couple times I took him down, he would get back up, and I knew that he was going to try again. And I just, in my mind, I said the same mantra: no, I'm more prepared to win than you are. And I don't know if I said it out loud to him,
Yeah.
but I said it in my mind, and it gave me so much energy that I was like, nope, we're staying here. And I knew, like, I just knew. It was
Amazing.
powerful. Words are powerful. Mindset is,
1000%.
we've seen it over and over. You can take a human, put them in the worst situation possible,
Mhm.
but the ones with the strongest mindset will persevere. They will continue on. And
Absolutely.
as an athlete, as an entrepreneur, I own my own business. As a Marine, it's physically a lot of people can do things.
Mm.
Mentally, people that's where it makes the difference. In
Mhm.
the
Totally.
10, the top 3% of the world, the
Mhm.
people with the sharpest mindset, the people with the best mindset are always going to be the ones that can persevere and benefit.
Yeah.
And that's my truth.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, what would you say to someone who's like thinking about doing mindset work, but they're kind of like, I don't really know, like I should just focus more on my training and getting reps in. What would you say to someone who's on the fence with working with me, getting mindset support, but they're like not 100% in yet?
I would look them in the eyes and I would say, you need it more than anybody. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, there's no negative.
Hmm.
There's negative. I would ask anyone, okay, think about it. What does your life look like if you don't do it? Okay, well, what does your life look like if you do it? I don't see a negative any way, shape, or form. You know, your mindset is the most powerful. It is the most powerful. When you're sitting there and someone's trying to punch you or kick you in your face, it's really easy to just be like, I'm out, done. I'll give up the position, it can go the other way, but something as raw and as real as like fighting. Your mindset, you need the work. And there's no negative to doing it. It's only going to make you that much better. If you're on the fence, why would you be on the fence about and not investing in yourself?
Hmm.
Not saying this is not a one and done. Like you don't just, oh, I'm going to do this. Even if you only did it once and you worked with a mindset coach one time in your life, you should be able to take that and just go forward in so many different aspects of the world. So it's an investment in yourself. And I don't know why anyone would realistically question an investment in themselves. Like you're going to benefit so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I would tell them. They definitely need it more than anybody. If you're even questioning it, you would need it, and thank me later.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%. I'm a little biased, but
Ah,
I agree
benefit for
1000%.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, amazing. Well, kind of last question that I have for you. Is there anything else that you want to share? Any like results that you're really proud of? Anything else that you want to share or say before we wrap up?
Before I started doing this, I had like a sense of confidence, but I was trying to protect myself.
Mm,
The mindset work that we worked on and that I developed working with you, how you helped me, it gave me certainty. And
mm,
that itself is worth $10,000. I would pay $10,000 to have this feeling again right now because I got knocked down. My vision of how I saw my fight career, my record, my reality
Mhm.
got stripped. And I had to sit there and come to terms with it. The way I lost was insane. I stayed up that 2 years. 2 years I thought about this and talk about going to a level of insanity.
Mhm.
The stuff that we worked on helped me to come back from one of the biggest adversities that I've ever experienced. People noticed, but what I noticed more than other people noticing is how I genuinely felt and started talking to myself. How did I feel about myself? I really allowed myself to feel everything that we worked on. And there's so much empowerment from that after I won that fight, like I've won technically all my fights now. I've beaten everybody that I've ever fought.
Yeah.
But I just heard my coaches, they're like, why is he so confident? Even before the weigh-ins, when I looked him in the eyes and I thought I was going to be fearful, I looked at this man in the eyes and smiled. And just I couldn't fake it. The way I started showing up for myself and believing in myself, that's a 10,000, 15,000. That's it's amazing.
Oh
I,
my.
I will leave off by saying that the mindset work that we've done will
Mhm.
have certain in yourself and
Mhm.
benefit.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Caleb. If anyone wants to like support you or kind of keep an eye on your journey, where's the best way for them to keep track of that, to kind of hear announcements of like upcoming things or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say, you can always watch my fight on YouTube. It's CFFC Caleb, CALEB. You can type that in and watch my fights.
Mhm.
But I have an Instagram, I have email. I have Instagram, though. That's the best way to get a hold of me. It is Caleb_Nelson.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. I will tag your Instagram. I'll tag your fight as well so people can keep an eye on you and I'm sure, amazing things that are coming up for you as you keep us updated on all of that and your training. And thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your mindset journey. And thank you. I personally want to thank you for the honor of being able to coach you through this and be able to support you. It's been so much fun for me. Like it's been a lot of fun. So thank you so much for trusting me and thank you for just being open to this work
Yeah.
and implementing it and absolutely crushing it. So great work. This is just the beginning and I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what comes from here.
Awesome. Thank you for helping me, Nat.
You're so welcome, Caleb. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.